Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meg and I thought today it would be fun to do a palette bingo, and I thought we would use my Blend Bunny Cosmetics palettes. I have 5 plus I think I'm going to throw in their highlighter palette just so I can kind of have a guarantee of a shiny, shimmery, iridescent light shade. So if you want to see what look like great, then just keep on watching. So I'm going to start off this video by just apologizing ahead of time. I will do what I can in editing, but my children are playing in the room just next door, so hopefully it's not too loud, but if it is, there's not really too much I can do about it. So if I want to film, this is when I gotta do it. But like I said in the intro, I want to take the Blend Bunny Cosmetics palettes I have, along with like their highlight palette they have, the Noctulescent, and I want to do a palette bingo. So I've got 5 actual like eyeshadow palettes and then like the highlighter palette. So we're gonna pick one shade from each, and I'm just going to pull up a random number generator and we are going to get going. So just because it's the first one on top, we're going to first jump into Lure, which is probably like one of my all-time favorites from them. If you haven't seen it, that's what it looks like. And so it is 24 shades. So we're going to go 1 to 24. So generate 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the first shade, oh, and I'm going like, I always go like right to left to the top and then down each one. So 7 gives us this gorgeous shade right here. It's a nice like mid-tone matte called Storm Ahead. Really beautiful shade. Okay, and then let's check out what our next one will be. So the next palette in the pile is Grunge, oh sorry, Sugar and Grunge. Gosh, it's not, they discontinued this palette unfortunately because there was some issues with the name Grunge being in it and some drama with that, which I think is absolutely ridiculous for whoever stirred that up, but whatever. So it looks like this is again 24 shades, so we'll still leave it at the 1 to 24 and generate number 13. So 6, 12, 13, so a bit of a deeper matte here, this shade. Drew. Ooh, those look really pretty together. So far, so good. Okay, and this is where we could start getting a little bit of a curveball. So the next one we have is Blends. This is like their iconic OG palette. And then it is 5 by 6, so 30 shades. So we're just going to adjust the generator to be 1 to 30. And then we will 30, the last one. Ooh, we got the black. All right, can always use a black. So that is the shade Nevermore. So far it's a very like romantic, moody kind of color story, which I know I end up mentioning it somehow in like every video lately, but with like the manhwa kind of romance stories I'm reading lately, that sort of fits the vibe. And next we've got Surge. This is unfortunately another one that's like discontinued from them because I think they were having a hard time getting like the pigments for the neons and that, so they discontinued it unfortunately, but hopefully you got your hands on it before it was gone. But this one is also 30, so we're going to keep it at the 1 to 30 and pick our shade 28, so easily go in a couple from there. Oh, we got one of the neons. We got this purple neon here called Pulse. Be interesting to see how this works with everything. I kind of have, even with these neons, I have a hit and miss experience with using them. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited to get to incorporate one of them because those are kind of like one of the things that makes the Surge palette as special as it is. And then this is actually the first palette, yeah, I think this is the first palette I ever got from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. And it's the Dollhouse palette. It was like their first kind of take on like a more neutral one. Don't mind, a couple of my shades are a little questionable, but I think even if I get those ones, I should still be able to make it work. So this one is also 30 shades, so we can leave it at the 1 to 30. 12. All right, so we got all mattes so far, so I guess it's a good thing I'm including that Noctilucent palette because we have mattes galore. Let's try to, so it's a little hard to, it's very skin tone, but the shade is right there. All right, and then last but not least, we are going to go into it's technically like their highlighter palette, but I love using this on the eyes as well as like shimmery topper shades. So it's the Noctilucent, so it is a 6 pan. They're all quite light, you know, aside from this one shade, so that one would definitely add a little bit more depth, but they're all pretty like just iridescent and light. But as you can see, it's only 6 shades, so we're going to change that number generator to, oh, for some reason it went off that screen. Okay, well, pulling up a new one. So I've gone 1 to 6, and you can see it's 5. That my youngest wanted to tell me about how he shared his tablet with his brother, which is a very nice thing. So we got number 5. So that is Transient, which I think this one is like sort of like the bluey shift kind of one in the middle down here. Really pretty. I guess actually no, when I put it down, it's sorry, it's not the bluey shift one. It's like the greeny kind of one. So we'll put it right after that beige shade. So hopefully maybe it'll help that one pop out a bit more. I don't know if you'll really be able to see it as well. Like again, like they're just kind of like they're highlighters, so like it's toppery shade, but that's what we got. So we're gonna create something magical with that. So let me just kind of get my brain sorted around what we're gonna create. I'm gonna zoom you in a bit and then we'll start creating our look. All right, so I think I figured out what look we're gonna do. I am gonna incorporate a graphic liner kind of aspect to it. So I picked out a shade that I thought went well with the color story that we got going on, and that is Cool Mint from Gavisi Beauty. It's one of their retro liners, and I really love this formula, so I think that'd be really cute. And before we get started on all that, I just want to do a really special little shout out to my amazing nephew and my wonderful niece, Grayson and Aubrey. I just love you guys so much, and I really appreciate all the support you throw your aunties' way. So, love you guys. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the look. So we're going for something very like kind of dramatic. I've done this look before in a couple different color stories, but something was speaking to me to like recreate it with this color story. So I just need to find a angle brush. We'll use this one. It's like an Essence Precise eyeliner brush, just like your typical angle brush. I don't know why this isn't zooming. Anyways, focusing. And so I'm going to first go in with the black, and we got that from the Blends palette. We're going to use this to create like the initial shape. So grab my mirror. We're just going to start creating the outer corner. All right, we got that initial shape down. Now we are going to grab the next deepest shade, and that was from the Sugar and Grunge palette, and that was the shade Drew. And I'm just gonna pick that up on it's actually Luxie 151 Mini Flat, just like a small detail brush. And we're just gonna start placing that inside. And continuing to like blend out. Next, we're going to go in with the shade we got from Surge, which is that wonderful neon purple called Pulse. And we're going to grab that on this just like Morphe, like this small Morphe packer brush. And start placing that in front to fill in kind of the rest of the area. And then like we'll go back and forth to like re-intensify. Make sure everything blends together beautifully. So that's basically kind of like how the lid is going to be. Then we're going to jump into the lower lash line. And we're going to grab a little bit more of the black. And we're going to create like this sort of like double wing moment. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of that Drew shade to do a bit of an initial blend from the black. And then we're going to jump in with, which one? I think that one from Lure, that Stormy Ahead. And a small blending brush. We're just going to blend that out even more. Just like that. And then I'm trying to figure out still how to use this beige shade that we got, because it doesn't like really show up at all. So I'm almost thinking I might use it to kind of like blend the inner corner a little bit, and then also just sort of set the lid up here. So we're just going to use this just to kind of create a little bit of a base. I don't know. I guess it's sort of a bit of a cop-out way to use this. But it's basically my skin tone, so it's not going to show up for anything else. So we're just using it to kind of set it and make everything smooth. And then I think we're going to take the shimmer from that highlight palette. We're just going to stamp that on the inner corner. That's, might even kind of drag it up into the lid a bit. Yeah, just like that. Super sparkly. And then I'm going to do the liner off camera just because it's really hard to like try to do that on, but essentially I'm just going to like outline this little wing and then this wing mostly inwards with the liner, put on lashes, all that jazz. So we'll come right back. The look will be finished, but you get the general idea I think already with how this is going to look. So be right back. And there we have it, the finished look. I really love how this turned out. I'd say this was a successful palette bingo. I feel like we didn't really get thrown any like curveballs with the color story. Like really the only one that was like was that like beige shade from Dollhouse, just because it was like my skin tone, so it wasn't really showing up. So it felt like it was kind of a bit of a throwaway shade. You know, I don't know, you could look and say, I guess maybe I didn't really properly utilize it, but whatever. I'm okay with how things turn out. I really love how the liner turned out. I added some like little like purple pearl kind of gem things. I don't know how easy they are to see, but I thought they were nice little accent to everything. And then I used the same shade that we used on the inner corner as like my face highlight as well. So feeling very like sparkly and glowy. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to do. Hope you enjoyed watching the process with me. And it's just a nice kind of thing, you know, if you don't have anything new to use, but you can pull in some palettes that you have and just try to use them in a new creative way. So I always really love doing that, especially once I have like a few palettes from a brand, or you could even do it just from one palette and do like a palette bingo. It doesn't have to be obviously like multiple palettes. But yeah, I think that was a lot of fun. Don't really have too much more to say. If you liked the video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe. I'd love to have you stick around for more. I'm gonna hopefully be getting some like pre-filming done because we are going to be going on another trip soon. We're going to Mexico for my 40th birthday, and I would like to hopefully make sure that I have content that can go up during that time as well. If I'm not able to get to it, then I apologize ahead of time for kind of the gap in posting, but doing my best. And yeah, follow me on my other socials, Spooky Mama Glam on Instagram and TikTok. Not as active these days, but trying to get there. But if you want to see more stuff from me, check out some of my older looks, then definitely check out those accounts. But that's about it. My kids are just getting louder, so I probably should wrap this up. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!